Hello, my friends. Welcome to Lean and Clean. I am your host, Christine, and I have Ellen with me today, and she is a health coach. I believe she's at Creekside Health Coaching. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. I want you to tell us everything that you do and how you arrived at this point, please.
Thank you so much, Christine, for having me on today.
My pleasure.
Really, it's been just a lot of things leading up to this point, and it's been just a miraculous kind of transformation once I got started. So, a little bit about me. I live in Alabama. I am a full-time teacher and athletic director. I organize kindergarten through sixth grade sports,
So you're just
and
a
I
little
also
busy.
just a little bit.
Love
And
it.
I also have three teenagers. So I have a daughter who will be 16 in a couple months, and I have twin boys who will be 14 next month.
God bless you.
We had our children, don't remember much because they're 22 months apart. And then noticed, particularly with our sons, we always heard, oh, they're busy, they're very active.
Right.
And I'm like, yes, they're boys and they're twins and they feed off of each other. And so then we just kept hearing a lot of they're not able to do this. They're not able to sit still. Again, they were real little. They were in preschool and we are like, they're boys. I'm sure they'll grow out of it. We'll keep an eye on it. And so there was a lot of stress building up because we had a lot of conversations about what our kids were not able to do. And that's a big thing with me as an educator is yes, there are always going to be times where your children can't do something, but let's not focus solely on that. What are they able to do? So taking a strength based approach, I bring that up because that's important to me as a health coach, and I'll come back to that.
Agreed.
So as we were raising our children, eventually our sons did get diagnosed with ADHD. And one of the things that I'm really thankful for is that they're in a small school who really supported us, really gave us that time. They had some other health issues that we wanted to explore and rule out. That was the cause that their some of their learning struggles. And so I am very grateful that we were given the space and the patience to do that before we really decided to pursue testing and therapy and medication. And then I feel that's another important step is having that individual choice. That's
Totally. So my
another part
grandson,
of my
I'm
health
sorry.
coaching that I really focus on as well.
I think that's
Um,
important. I think that's really a good holistic approach. I have a grandson who's 4.5 and he was diagnosed with autism. So he's on the
mhm.
spectrum. He's very functional and that's not a problem. But it's similar to what you were saying. The teachers were like, he's not able to do this, he's not able to do that. So my daughter got him early on into occupational therapy and speech therapy. And of course, he was born during COVID. So everybody had
And
masks on.
yeah, that was complicated to get services during that time
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah. I bet. And let me ask you, so did you find that nutritional protocols helped at all? I have ADHD and I noticed that when I have certain foods, it goes off the charts.
Right. So we did try one of the things our pediatrician had suggested to us was fish oil.
Hmm.
And so I tried so hard. I mixed it with pudding. My sons now won't eat pudding because I've tried so many different flavors and I had to poke a hole in the pill,
Yeah.
squirt it. I stained so many clothes trying to get into their pudding. And it made a little bit of a difference,
Yeah.
but their ADHD is pretty severe. Now, I
Gotcha.
will say, for whatever reason, like caffeine doesn't help, like it doesn't calm them down. It doesn't do anything to make them more crazy.
Mhm.
But if they have a lot of sugar, then yeah, they're going to lose their minds. But most kids are like that.
I'm the same.
Adults are like that. So I do try to, like most parents, provide a balanced diet, but I don't think we did try some nutritional avenues and it didn't make up enough of the deficit.
I gotcha. Interesting. So tell me how you went from all these things that you do. Now, do you do private clients or group clients, or tell me how you do that? Because I
Right
know
now I'm doing private one-on-one clients.
beautiful.
I would love to I've tried putting out some feelers for some group sessions and I would really love to do that in the future because that's the educator in me. I like talking to groups and I feel like there's a lot of value with discussions amongst others
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of just hearing from me. So that's something that I really hope quite soon that I can start offering.
I love that. Now, with your one-on-one clients, is it in person or online or both?
It's virtual.
Virtual. Okay, that's cool. And how would somebody book a call with you?
I have a website. It's www.creeksidehealthcoaching, it's all one word, .com. And there's a button you can schedule a consultation
Perfect. I will put
on
that
there.
in the show notes for everybody to
Okay,
find it.
perfect.
What type of clients do you help? What is it? Female, male, everybody,
I
midlife,
s-
early
I
on?
specialize in parents and professionals, particularly who work or have neurodivergent children. I brought that up in the beginning because that had such an impact on my life. One of the things that I really struggled with my own health was feeling all of these stressors. Our daughter was also diagnosed with ADHD, but not until she was 13 years old. We missed the boat on that one.
Nobody ever
Yeah.
diagnosed me until I was an adult.
She was
So
always, no, she's fine. She's fine. She's so good in class. She's so good because she's not paying attention.
it
It
was
is what
me.
it is.
I was doodle. I was a
Yeah.
doodler. And I'm still
Um,
that way. I still
and
have.
she also has severe anxiety. So she's got a little bit of a different scenario. But I just kept watching my friends, my peers, their parents, and everything seemed so easy for everybody else. And so I put a lot of guilt on myself. I felt a lot of stress about, oh goodness, are my kids going to be okay? Are they going to be able to live normal lives? And not to brag or anything, but they're pretty fantastic.
You
We've
should
done a lot
brag.
of we've done a lot of work, but they I'm really proud of them, and they've had to find different ways to learn for themselves, but it's a process. And anyone with neurodivergent children knows that trying to figure out the process that works best for your child is really challenging.
And I also think that they change too.
They do. They
So,
do. They grow and they mature, and they're going to do that at their own way in their own time. And you have to give them their space to do that. But so I work with those two specific populations because it's stressful because you don't know what's going to happen, much
absolutely,
like
man,
most parenting.
I wish you were around when my kids were younger. I had my kids are 15 months apart. And my daughter always had school, always came easy to her. My son really struggled. So we went to a partial homeschool situation. And so, yeah, it was a struggle and so much guilt when I worked, guilt when I was there. It just piled on. So it's great to have you as a resource. I'm sure so many parents seek you out because you almost feel like it's a no-win situation.
Yes.
Because if you're spending all this time on one child or on both children, and then you've got the other child, and then, you're not always giving yourself some self-care, and it's just a cycle. I've been,
The self-care for yourself is a piece that I missed for about a decade. And then all of a sudden I woke up and realized I was 60 pounds overweight. I just started crying at everything. I also got a anxiety diagnosis for myself, but I realized all of this, and plus work and everything, I was just pushing it down until I couldn't push it down anymore.
yeah,
And then one day I realized I really need to do something to help myself. And so that's when I went and had a conversation with my own doctor. I'm like, this isn't normal. Why am I feeling like this? And part of it's my age, but part of it was an anxiety diagnosis.
yeah,
And so when we have anxiety and our cortisol levels are constantly, your body is constantly thinking that it's in fight or flight, even though you're just living your daily life, and your brain tells itself, oh, this is just daily life, and you don't feel like you're panicking necessarily, it still has a long-term effect on your health. And so all of these things combined, and I had a background in health promotion. That was what my bachelor's degree is in. And I realized I really want to reach out and help parents and professionals realize they don't have to feel this way.
yeah.
They can still help the children that they love, but still take care of themselves as well. And so that's really what led me to health coaching and opening my practice.
I tell you what, I think you're doing amazing work
Thank
because
you.
I had never really, I guess I had anxiety, just didn't recognize it as anxiety until one day I thought I was having a heart attack. And I
Yes.
was rushed to the hospital and they said, "Oh no, you're too young to have a heart attack." And I'm like, "I can't breathe and I'm feeling pressure everywhere."
Right.
And the doctor's like, "No, that's an anxiety attack." And I like, "Surely not. Like, I know anxiety and I don't feel very anxious." And they're like, "No, it definitely is. You've suppressed it so much that it just has no outlet." I'm like, "Oh,
Yes.
okay." And he's like, started telling me about what's going on in your life. And I told him, he goes, "It's no wonder you're having an anxiety attack.
Right.
You have a lot going on." And I was like, "Oh, I guess I do." And for a short period of time, I went on some medicine. And once I was over that hump, I was able to wean off of that. And things had gotten better because I stopped taking on the world and got some good coping techniques. And now I'm 57 and I'm a grandmother. And I'm like telling my daughter, make sure you take time for yourself because it's so
Right.
important. I'll babysit, go get your nails done, take some time for you. Live and learn.
And the key is to learn before it's too late to
Yes,
change
yes.
anything.
Yeah, I was one step away from being admitted to the hospital. I honestly really thought that I was having a heart attack. I
Oh,
was convinced. But I'll tell you, I think what you're doing is amazing. And so many ladies could really use help. And honestly, even guys, like my husband is not a talker, but if he'd had somebody to talk about what was going on with the kids, I think he would have been handled a lot easier. He just
right.
like didn't talk about it. That's how his style is.
It's funny because about 50% of my clients are male and they're male teachers.
Wow,
And
that's cool.
it is. And they're phenomenal educators. But it's really interesting to see we've just made little changes. I say they have made little changes
With your
in,
guidance.
yes, with their lifestyles. And it's just amazing just trying to find what works best for you as an individual, the impact it can have on your health.
Yeah.
They felt less stressed and they were able to be more present at home for their family. They were able to be better educators for their students. And I think that is something that we, as teachers, we're constantly pouring, but
Yeah.
also as parents, you're constantly pouring. I know the last thing I think about is my family before I go to sleep and what do they need? What can I do? What do I need to do tomorrow? And as you keep pouring, that cup is getting emptier.
Right.
And
Right.
until you take care of yourself, you keep pouring from an empty cup, it's going to end
Doesn't
up
work.
dangerously
Yeah, I
ill.
had the doctor tell me that think of it like you're on an airplane and you need the oxygen mask. You always
Yeah.
put yours on first so that you can help everybody else put theirs on. I was
Right.
like, yeah, I guess so. Because I always put myself last because everybody else had all these other needs and I was extremely busy. So I just kept going and going. And I think a lot of us are like that. It's we're on a
Right.
treadmill. Just keep going, like Nemo. So
Right.
I just, at what point do people come see you? Like when they're starting to feel out of control, when they're in the midst of everything, or both?
My goal would be when they have an awareness of it. If something feels off, like this could be, to me, it was, this is my life, but it could be better. It's not always like an epiphany. I mean, it might be, oh geez, I put on a lot of weight recently,
Something.
go to a health coach. And while I focus primarily on work-life balance and stress management, a lot of that plays a role in weight loss and
Oh
weight
yeah.
gain.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of it is just really interrelated. Once I started taking care of myself, I was able to lose 20 pounds. That's slowed down, but I
It's the
still
cortisol
have
going.
done, yes, the cortisol went down. I think now I just I'm doing a lot of fat loss because I can see the shape of my body change, but like the scale stays the same.
Throw the scale.
Yeah, I'm not super concerned about it because I can still see different improvements. So I'm not quitting. It's just looking different than I would like it to,
Of course. I think
which
we'll
is
help.
another problem that people have when they're trying to take care of themselves and lose weight and they feel like they've failed, but they haven't actually.
Yeah, it's the patience game.
Yes,
And then I've had so many people who are so close to reaching their goal and be like, just not worth it. It's taking forever. I'm like, no, stick with it. Stick with it. It's working. So do your sessions run? Do you have like a set amount of sessions or do they just book individually?
I have two packages. They are 3 month or 6 month. I see the most improvement in those two time frames.
Yeah.
So I stick with that. A 3 month one has one 40-minute initial assessment and then one 40-minute like final wrap up session. And then everything in between are 20-minute check-ins that
Okay.
we do weekly. And then the 6 month is the same. It's just a longer time period.
Love it. I love it. I bet
So
they look forward to it. Just
yeah, it's
somebody listen.
really, yeah, we're all so busy. And so that's really why I like the virtual platform because you'd be surprised at how much time you can save by not having to drive somewhere.
Oh, I know. That's exactly why I'm online all the time. I feel like it cuts down, especially I live like an hour from the main city. If I'm going somewhere, it takes me like 4 hours by the time I drive there, spend an hour there, drive back. It's great.
Right.
So I love virtual. I think it's more and more the way we're going to go.
And I really try to laser in those 20-minute sessions so that you spend 20 minutes really focused on you. We talk about, okay, these were your goals from last week. How did we do? And I think it's funny because a lot of times I'll hear clients say, I didn't make my goal because my goal was to do XYZ for 3 days, but I only did it for two. That's great. That's better than average. Let's figure out what
Right?
went well in those 2 days and let's see how we can gain some momentum. There's a lot, and it's funny because like I'm just I am asking the broad open-ended questions to really, and my purpose as the health coach is to get the client to think about their behavior. It's not actually my job to tell you what to do. It's my job to probe so that you think about what will work for you. And it's so funny because some of these clients you can hear the light bulb go off and they'll answer a question. They're like, oh my gosh, that's my problem. And then you see them turn the corner. And it's just so gratifying to see that moment where they're like, okay, I can do this. I am going to change my life. And then they do it.
I love it.
So I live for those aha moments.
I feel you. I love it too. I think it's great. And that's actually how I started the podcast. I felt like there was so many people that needed a connection, that needed to connect people together. No matter where you live in the world, you need help. And if you want health coaching, they needed help. I have life coaches on, I have spiritual coaches on, and just that connection. So hopefully if somebody's out there really struggling as a mom, as a dad, as an educator, they will find you and you can help them through their struggle.
I hope so.
Yeah. So that's really why I wanted to have you on today. So I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Thank you, Christine. I appreciate being on.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to leave our guests with?
Just when in doubt, just it's okay to ask for help, whether that's from your doctor, a counselor, therapist, a friend. Just don't feel like you have to live on an island. And I think it's really common for us, especially after COVID, to feel like we have to do it all ourselves, but we don't. It takes a village and you've got one. You've just got to seek them out.
I love it. I 100% agree. It's going to move you so far along, so much faster to get
Right.
professional help. It just does. So I thank you. I will put all the contact information for you in the show notes. And for our guests, for our listeners, I really want to thank you for listening. And if you have comments or questions, please put them in the comment section. And I will make sure that Ellen gets those and she can answer them for you. Or if they're for me, I will answer, obviously. I pray for each and every one of you. And I thank you for being here. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And as always, hit that like button.